Welcome back to Askewed Reviews. And I figured the best way to celebrate Black Friday is to do the 2021 film Black Friday. Here is your trivia question for today. Who does the voice for the teddy bear Dower Dennis? The answer will be at the end of this episode. So, at the beginning of our film, Thanksgiving night is coming to a close, and Black Friday and its shopping is just about to start. Now, something starts to happen that I'm sure will have nothing to do with the plot, but weird fleshy meteorites start landing throughout the town. But let's not concern ourselves with that. Let's instead turn our attention to We Love Toys, a shopping store that is just about to start filling up with all of those Black Friday shoppers. It's here at this store that we meet our main characters, who just so happen to be employees working at We Love Toys. So, for the most part, everything seems to be going normal as it does every Black Friday, as the customers come in as a giant stampede and start grabbing at everything possible. Unfortunately, this year there seems to be something off with some of the customers as they begin attacking the employees. They also begin to start mutating and changing into horrifying monsters. To make matters worse, the creatures or customers have started to make something in the middle of the store that is glowing and might be alive. So, will our holiday helpers be able to free themselves from the store or even survive the night? This movie was directed by Casey Tebow. The movie was written by Andy Greskoviak, who actually got the idea while working at a Toys R Us in Chicago. In fact, because he worked at one in Chicago, you might recognize the names of Bartlett and Schomburg as they are mentioned in the film. Also, at one point in the film, a radio announces that four counties have been evacuated: Columbus, Carpenter, Lynch, and Wright, all named after famous directors: Chris Columbus, John Carpenter, Joe Lynch, and Edgar Wright. To not have to pay all the extra money of using actual Christmas songs, Casey Tebow would actually perform royalty free Christmas songs on a keyboard. The movie was filmed in Boston, Massachusetts, specifically at a former Babies R Us that had been abandoned. The very last scene of the film takes place outside of the store. That was also the last scene filmed, and they got extremely lucky with the weather, as the very next day there was a blizzard that crippled all of Massachusetts. At one point, Devon Sawa's character Ken is bit, and a suggestion is thrown out to cut his arm off. This is a reference to the movie Idle Hands, another film that Sawa did where his hand was in fact cut off. Also, speaking of other films, in the employee break room, at one point playing on the TV is the film Curse of Chucky. In case anyone was curious, there is actually no connection between this film and the 2020 musical or the 2021 comic book series that all share the same name. Even though there are a similar premises in all of them, there is no connection. So when it comes to the film Black Friday, this was very entertaining in my opinion. It's not an amazing movie to watch, but it is a lot of fun, and I feel like it's the movie that should come back around each year and should be watched on the day of Black Friday. Now, one of the other things I do have to say is I love some of the standout performances by Bruce Campbell, Devon Sawa, and even Michael Jai White. Now, some of the other cast members also have some great standout scenes, so definitely check this out, and I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 5. And if you did like this film, other movies I would recommend checking out are Cooties, Shaun of the Dead, The World's End, and Slither. Now, as for the trivia question from the beginning of this episode, who does the voice for the teddy bear Dower Dennis? So apparently the hot new toy for this year is a big teddy bear that can talk named Dower Dennis. And the actual specific voice for this character is done by voice actor Seth Green. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews, and if there's a movie you'd like to see get a review, just mention it in the comments.